You might not be aware of it yet, but people are slowly drifting away from you. On the surface, they may seem friendly and courteous, but deep down, they're finding ways to avoid your company. But why are they behaving like this? Well, the problem isn't with them. It's with you. Unknowingly, we often exhibit toxic behaviors that push people away. And the issue is, by the time you realize it, everyone, including your close friends, may have already distanced themselves from you. So instead of finding yourself in a situation where everyone openly ignores and avoids you, it's wise to recognize and get rid of those toxic behaviors in time. So without further ado, let's look at these 5 toxic behaviors that might be pushing people away from you. Number 5. Do you often feel like your friends' random conversations are indirectly about you? And do you take it personally, getting offended and angry? Well, if that's the case, it's time to change this behavior now. Because let's face it, this is an extremely toxic behavior. Do you really think everyone is always thinking about you and finding indirect ways to talk about you? Probably not. Just like you don't think about others all the time, they don't think about you all the time either. They're just sharing their views. So take it easy and stop taking everything personally. Now you might wonder, what's the harm in taking things personally? Well, because of your behavior, people will start thinking twice before sharing their thoughts in front of you, worried that you might get offended and start crying. And gradually, they'll begin to maintain a distance from you. Number 4, do you always find yourself complaining and constantly feel like everything goes wrong with you and you're the victim? If you continue to play the victim card and blame others for your problems, people will soon stop wanting to be around you. But isn't it good to be prepared for the worst in life? Yes, it is. But constantly acting like a victim and blaming others for your troubles is toxic. By doing so, you're showing others that you're weak and lack control over your life. And all you do is react to situations without trying to change them. Who wants to be around someone who's always negative and complaining? But don't worry, we won't leave you without a solution. From today, develop a habit of writing down 3 things you're grateful for before bed every night. You might think, there's nothing in my life to be grateful for. Well, think again. Aren't you grateful for the good food you ate today? Or the comfortable bed you have to sleep in? This habit will help you develop a positive mindset and stop complaining. And let's start doing this right now. Comment any 3 things you're grateful for in the comments section below. Number 3, do you often find yourself losing control and overreacting over others' smallest mistakes? If you lack emotional self-control, people prefer to keep a distance from you to avoid your unnecessary tantrums. Let's ask ourselves a question. If you had to spend the whole day with someone who overreacts to your smallest mistakes and criticizes you, could you bear it? No, right? Then, if you lack emotional self-control, you should realize that people around you might not want to be with you either. But don't worry, here's an easy solution for you. From today, make a rule to remain silent for a while when you feel emotionally unstable. Don't react or respond to anyone in that situation, just let it pass in silence. Gradually, your self-control will become stronger. Number 2, are you that person in your group who constantly corrects others on minor things? Like how to hold a spoon while eating or when to apply brakes while driving? If you constantly criticize others on every small matter, people will start to feel irritated and avoid you. Now you might think, but what if someone is doing something wrong? Shouldn't I correct them? Well, yes you should, but only on matters that could potentially harm them or lead to significant consequences, not on every small issue. It's important to correct others when it's necessary, but not to the point of constant criticism. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, be sure to hit that like button. It helps us know you're loving the content. Number 1, are you the person in the room who thinks that whatever you say should be the law? And if someone goes against your will, you either directly lash out at them or indirectly use sarcasm to humiliate them in front of everyone. When you try to control others, you're implying that they're not capable of making their own decisions. If you have this controlling nature, it will one day leave you completely alone. No one wants to be controlled by anyone. Unfortunately, people will start to distance themselves from you once they sense this nature of yours. So it's essential to learn to listen to others and let them make their own decisions. By the way, did you know that some people use dark psychology tricks to manipulate and control others? And the worst part is that these tricks often work, and you may not even realize that you're being manipulated. But don't worry, we've already created a video to help you recognize those dark tricks.